There are two stages in getting out of bed in the morning, broadly speaking. First, we move from non-consciousness to consciousness. We're asleep, then we're awake. We can't choose to make that switch in the moment. It happens to us as a matter of chance or conditioning. That was yesterday's topic. The second stage, once we're awake, we must choose to get up. That is today's topic. This is How to Get Out of Bed, Part 2 of 4. How can we set up our environment and our circumstances so we consistently start our day making the excellent choice? Hey there, it's me, Core, and you're listening to Exercising Self-Control from Fitness to Flourishing. I'll start with a story from my own life. I was living in Prince George, BC, selling retail and commercial fitness equipment. What I found was when I was talking to customers, I was actually more engaged in getting to know how they were training than trying to sell the fitness equipment itself. And I started to realize I need to become a fitness trainer. Now, Prince George at the time had a population of about 60,000 people. I found a course offered locally and I signed up. However, they postponed it. There weren't enough people interested, so they said, we'll do it next time. I signed up for that session. It was canceled again for the same reason. And I started wondering if this was an issue with being in a smaller town. So I decided to move back to Calgary, where I had been about 5 years previously. Over 1 million people in Calgary. Without much more of a plan than that, I moved in with a friend and I started looking for certification options. I didn't even research it prior to moving. I found a school with a 4-month program, 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, leading to a diploma and a certification through the American Council on Exercise. I also found full-time work in a gym as I was going to school, which was awesome. I was able to apply what I was learning in real time. My schedule looked like this. School was from 8:30 in the morning to 12:30, and then I worked a full shift from 2 to 10, Monday through Friday. I was also getting my own workouts in. So to make it to my 8:30 class, there was about a 30-minute drive. That means I had to finish my workout by 8 o'clock. So I was getting to the gym between 6:15 and 6:30, if I remember right, which required me getting up at 5:30. So that means I was averaging about 6 hours of sleep a night, sometimes maybe only 5.5, depending. Not ideal, but I was on a mission. I maintained this schedule for the 4 months of the certification program. I was excited to get up every morning, looking forward to school and work because it was all driving toward a vision that I had for my future. I had no trouble getting up. While I might have felt physically tired, I was mentally ready to go every morning. It wasn't until about the final 2 weeks where I started to think, I don't know if I can keep up this pace. The motivation that I had contributed to my being able to maintain that schedule. And honestly, it wasn't even super demanding. There are people with much tougher schedules, much harder work, who keep going to reach their goals. So what might be some reasons that a person would struggle to get out of bed? As in any physical endeavor, probably a good idea to get a medical checkup. Even the medications that a person is on can affect the sleep and wake cycle. Being tired in the morning often comes down to what someone did in the evening. Do you get to bed on time? You might wake up early but struggle to fall back asleep due to stress or racing thoughts, worries, concerns. Maybe there's no compelling reason to get up. This ties into my story about getting certified. Now, it's important to note that there's nothing inherently virtuous about getting up early. It's not about getting up early. It's about getting up when you wake up. So whatever time of day that is, that's the important thing. So what we need to do to set up the environment and the circumstances to get up once we're awake, there's many solutions. The most common is an alarm clock. Now you can get ones with sound, you can get ones with light that actually brighten the room and then add sound, very gentle. Something that helps is a consistent schedule, a consistent bedtime, and a consistent wake-up time. So not just Monday to Friday, but every day of the week. This helps set your circadian rhythm. The body becomes conditioned, and it becomes much easier because when that regular wake-up time occurs, the brain is already in the process of waking up. The bedtime routine itself, the more structured that is, the more you're able to start to wind down and to get into a natural going to sleep cycle. So the idea here is that you reduce light exposure before bed. You try to mirror the natural light patterns wherever it is that you live, so that you're not sitting in a super bright room 3 minutes before you're going to turn the light off and then go to sleep. Start to dim the lights, become quieter, more relaxed, and just easing into that let's go to sleep pattern. A big contributor is what you do during the day. This is that lifestyle. Just like exercise itself is a lifestyle, this is how you can become better at sleep and have it help you recover from your exercise and from the challenges you face in the day. Daily exercise itself helps you sleep better. Physical activity, get the blood flowing, get the heart rate up, but not too close to bedtime. You want to leave probably, I would say, 3 hours before you go to bed to really rev up your metabolism with exercise. So the earlier in the day, the better. Maintaining a healthy diet as well. And again, the timing. You don't want to eat a big meal just before bed, or even a small meal for that matter. Again, a 2 to 3 hour window before bed is recommended. The key distinction from yesterday's episode and today's is between waking up and actually getting up. Remember, waking up is non-conscious. It happens whether through an alarm, random noise, or through conditioning. Getting up and out of bed, however, is different. It's a conscious choice. This ties into your purpose and your values. When your preferred wake-up time connects to your purpose and values, you're more likely to make that first choice to get out of bed. As Donald Robertson discusses in his book, Build Your Resilience, I've referred to this a couple of times already, we can define resilience as the ability to stay consistent to your values in the face of challenges. And a challenge might be when you feel tired in the morning. Getting out of bed when you're tired or unmotivated while remembering your values and goals is a form of resilience. It builds character through virtuous self-control. Every choice connects to your entire life. What you did the evening before, your exercise habits, your daily routines. Short-term choices compound over time. One day of hitting snooze might not matter, but weeks or months of this behavior creates significant effects. That is a form of conditioning. Conversely, making excellent choices, even in the face of fatigue, builds positive momentum. Getting out of bed is the first opportunity to make a choice consistent with your highest values and your most important goals. That's why I'm dedicating 4 episodes to this. Tomorrow, we'll look at your purpose and your values. Clarity on these will make getting out of bed more compelling. That first choice, when you know exactly why you're getting up and what you'll be doing to live the life you want to live will be the easy choice in that case. That's it for today. Catch you next time.